Hi, I'm Phyllis from the Doll Corner, and welcome back, and welcome to my new subscribers, and anybody that's stopping by for the first time, subscribe, so you'll get a notice when I have my next one. Sure, touch the bell. But I want you to meet Matilda. Matilda, I made her 30 years ago, I think now. And she comes to visit at this time of year, every year. She comes out of the closet and makes an appearance. So when I got her out this year, I thought, I should maybe make her a new dress. I knew I had to make her a new hat because it was wasn't in very good shape. So I thought, brighten her up some way, make her a new hat. So I got looking at her dress, and it's not too bad. She's got her bloomers and her black stockings on and her ribbon and her bows. So I just thought I'll make her a hat this year. She's got a cape on here. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm going to put some more light here. Maybe that'll work better. Anyway, that's maybe better. So I thought, well, no, I'll just make her a hat this year, and maybe next year she'll get a new dress. Anyway, I want to show you how I made her hat. Now, I don't know what this fabric is, but it's kind of spongy, but you can use any kind of fabric. How I made my pattern was I drew I measured from here to here what I thought would make a nice crown on her hat. This one's a lot smaller, so I thought this would look better. So I took 5 inches and I added 1/4 of an inch for a seam allowance. And I cut a half circle and measured down here 5 1/4 inches. And now to get the right size, I just bring my half circle and I put it like this, and I put it on her head. And I think that's about the right size. So then I just hold that, or I could tape it, but I didn't bother, I just held it. And I put a little mark, maybe you can't see that. I put a little mark in here to know my measurement. And I want it to be 1/2 inch bigger than I really need. And then I draw a line from that mark to the center of my paper. Just like that. Maybe you can't see. Just draw a line here. And then I cut this off. I'll just fold it for now. And that's my pattern for my crown of my hat. And then when I go to sew it together, I'll just take a 1/4 inch seam down here. And that's why you want a 1/2 inch bigger, because you're taking out a 1/2 inch of this measurement. Now this measurement from here to around here, you'll want that measurement. So you can either take a tape measure or some way to get that measurement, because for the brim, you want that measurement for around here. And then you want to put an extra 1/4 inch seam allowance on that. And then you have your brim. And this is, well, I left this 2 2.5 inches. My brim will end up about 2 inches, because I'll take it, I have a seam here and a seam here. Now I cut 2 pieces of fabric. Where did we go? 2 pieces of fabric, and one of interfacing. Or if you need it, you might, if you want it extra stiff, then you'll want another piece of insulation. Interfacing. I don't know where I've got that on my mind today, but anyway, it's coming out. So then you can take and put your 2 right sides together and just stitch around the edge here. And then you'll want to trim right close to your seam, and then turn it inside out, or turn it right side out. So that it looks like this, and give it a good press. And then top stitch it along here. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but there's a top stitch. If I was doing it again, I would have got it a little closer. I'd have just went out 1/4 of an inch instead of about 1/2 an inch. But that's up to you, whatever. So then, another way of doing it, so you don't have to turn it in that, is put your interfacing, got it right, on the inside, and then just serge around the edge. Or you could use something like a button stitch or something like that. Now for this original hat, it was made out of felt, so I just stitched around it to sew them together, because I made two thicknesses, and I don't know whether there's any interfacing in that or not. It doesn't feel like it. And I put 2 thicknesses of the felt in the top. So I don't think there's any interfacing in there. So then I've got this done, and this is my brim. I take and I match up my center front and my center back and put a mark at my center mark. And then I go this way and I mark my sides and put a mark there. But something else you can do if you're making a bigger one and you want it to stand up is to take a piece of cardboard, say from your cereal box, and make this pattern like this, and then just roll it in and put it up inside your hat. Now, don't leave it up high enough so that you don't have to interfere with your sewing around here. Or you can put it up after you've sewn your brim on. Then your brim goes over top of your hat. And you line up. Oh, I should have showed you how to quarter. I quartered my brim and put marks on it as well. And now I will pin it front and back. Matching my marks, and the same on the side. this. Now, if you're doing a bigger hat, you might want to put in more pins, but that's up to you. And then I just stitch around here, all the way around. And then I press my seam up inside the hat. And I sew right along there, right along the edge there. And that'll keep your seam up so it doesn't interfere with the fitting of the hat. And then this one, I serged around the edge of it. This one, I put a little bit of interfacing in here, but just a lightweight, because this, I don't know what this is, it's spongy. And it's, like, I didn't have to put any interfacing in the center, because it just bounces back. So it was perfect for this hat. And then I put some ribbon around it. If I'd have had more of this ribbon, I would have gathered it more. Or if it wasn't trying to match it up with my dress, I'd have used a different color or a different material, like a bias binding or a trim that is flexible. But I only had that much ribbon because I stole it from the bow off her cape. You can't see. I bored it off there, so I'd have some that would match up. So I just gathered it to fit around the hat. But if you have bias or a more flexible trim, would work better maybe. Anyway, that's her hat. And there she is, Matilda, all dressed up with a new hat for this year. And maybe next year I'll make her one, or maybe we'll see. So, thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe and touch the bell. Give me a thumbs up if you found this was helpful. And thanks for watching. Bye now.